subject of the shi'ur, the wonders of the Creator. How many of us look at things that we have every day and start to realize, what did HaKadosh Baruch Hu create, his wonders? So I'll tell you where we start. We start with David HaMelech. David HaMelech in Tehillim, chapter 104, verse 24, he said something very interesting. I'm going to say it in Hebrew and I will translate it to English. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam bechokma asita. I'm sure that most of you heard that verse, but I'll explain that. How many are your works, Hashem? You made them all with wisdom. That's what David HaMelech praised HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Let's start with the human body. Let's start with the eyes. We spoke about it last week that we're going to explain. Did you ask yourself, why do we have 2 eyes, not 3, not 4, not 1 eye? Did you ask yourself why? Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when created a human being, created him with 2 eyes? Why dafka 2 eyes?
As a reserve.
Reserve.
You know, well, in case God...
I can't hear, Menachem, sorry. Okay, depth perception. What else? You're 100% right.
3-dimensional.
3-dimension, that's it. But what there is in a 3-dimension? So like Menachem said, depth, height, and width. Without those, how can a person work? How can a person do anything? I mean, you take a surgeon. I have a good friend, he's a doctor. You know, he has a little bit of a squint in his eyes. You can't even see it. They found out. He can't be a surgeon. Why? Because it's difficult for him to find the depths. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's a brilliant doctor. An A student. You know what is an A student? But they found out that with his depths he has a problem. A squint an eye. That's causing it. You can't see it. I promise you. We have here Peter with us. How difficult is it, Peter?
Absolutely not. When I lost the vision of my
Yeah.
left eye, I had no depth perception.
Okay. Here we have a specialized in eyes. So when HaKadosh Baruch Hu created us with 2 eyes, do we realize how much thought, the wonders that HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought? That Hazal tell us that a human being, Rabota, a human being, like all the world that he created. That's what a human being. Do we realize how many color sensors we have in our eyes? There is 7 million color sensor in our eyes. That's for during the day. What's happening at night when we can't see in the dark? HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes something completely different. 127 million black and white sensor. 127 million black and white sensor to help us to see in darkness. Do we realize that? Do we appreciate what HaKadosh Baruch Hu done for us, Rabotai? We don't even know about it. Let's move on. If we look at the position of the nose and the mouth, how come that the nose always above the mouth and not below? Why does the mouth have to be always below the nose? Did you ask yourself? But if the nose was here, if the mouth was on top and the nose is here, what difference does it make? I can feed myself. Sorry? No, the eye gonna, instead of here. Why does the mouth have to be above? Sorry, the nose have to be above the mouth. Why?
So that you could smell what you're eating.
Sorry, so I can. Sorry, I didn't hear.
You could smell what you're eating.
You're laughing, you're right. You know why you're right?
Sensor. It's a sensor.
Because, not for nothing HaKadosh Baruch Hu done it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu done it that you can smell before you eat if the food is good or not. If the food is fresh or not. That Chas v'Shalom, if you didn't have the sense of smell on top of the food, you would eat any food. It can cause you problem. People can get sick.
So food is
So
hot.
how can you tell if the food is fresh or not? That it's on top of the mouth. Did we look at it? We never thought about it, Rabotai. Look at the wonders of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The nerve system. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu create a nerve system? Did you ask yourself?
Doing damage to yourself.
Don't do damage to yourself, okay?
To warn you of a
To
problem.
warn you, okay? You're all right.
To communicate for
Sorry?
the brain has got the most nerves to communicate messages in the brain.
You mean to communicate with the body, the mind with the body, obviously, yeah. But did you thought about it? Let's for a second. A person doesn't have a nerve system.
Doesn't have?
A nerve system. That's mean doesn't have any nerves in the body. He doesn't feel nothing.
Can't feel pain.
He put a hot plate. He cooked for himself, and he doesn't take notice that the other hot plate also on. He put his hand on,
And he burns it.
And you feel better.
and slowly the body starts disappearing. The hand disappear, the finger disappear, the arm disappear. When is he going to wake up? Never. Do you understand? The nerve system, that's in a simple way. When we look at things, we take it for granted, Rabotai. But we have to understand that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu created a human being, how long does it take to create a human being? And we think that we have it.
But Rabbi, don't animals have nerve systems as well?
Well, what the difference does it make if we... I'm talking about the wonders of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not only on a human being. We're talking about, but everything in a human being. What? The nose. Did you see an animal that the nose is below the mouth? Also for them. Did you see an animal with one eye or with three eyes? I saw all of them with two. Why? They don't need it. But that's what we say, Pil'ei HaBoreh, the wonders of the Almighty. Let's move on. The immune system that we have in our body. You know, we have the red cell and we have the white cell. Everyone know about it. What is the job of the red cell? You're all going to tell me now straight that to help for a human being to take the oxygen, to bring it to the lung, so a person can carry on breathing. That's pashut. That's the red cell. The job of the white cell, to fight infection, to find any foreign invasion that there is into the body. You know, I saw it's marvelous. Rabotai, listen to it. They show that, let me put it this way, so you'll understand. They put a foreign subject into the body, and they put the microscope into the body to see how it reacts. For us to understand how those white cells work. Did you see an ambulance, Has v'Shalom, when there is something happen? How do they fly? They don't care about red robot. They don't care if they have to go over the pavement. That's what's happening with the white cell. When they start to realize that there is a foreign object in the body or there is infection, they don't care. They're flying to destroy the foreign object. They try to destroy that infection that's coming. It's beyond understanding. It's unbelievable. They actually join like a one length. You see like a one long strip of a white cell running towards that. And you know what they do also? They actually mark it. When I saw that, I couldn't believe. I heard about it, but when you see it, it's beyond understanding. You know, they mark the foreign object, or they mark that things that might going to cause infection to the body. They mark it. It's like a target.
Sure.
And when they get to it, you know how they work. They don't play a game. They jump on it. It's like, it's beyond it's beautiful to look at it.
I saw it.
You saw it. It's amazing. You see like,
It was on TV on the
National Geographic.
BBC.
It's amazing. When you see that, it's beyond understanding. So that's our immune system. Who made that immune system?
It's the same as a snake.
Yeah, until he reached it. But when he reached it, that's it. So now, if we take that, who created that? The immune system. You think it's just like this? It's by mistake, the Big Bang? Remember the Big Bang? The theory of our friend? Remember we spoke about him? Yeah. So, is that true? That there is, a person can be created like this? Did we ask ourselves? Let's move. Now, let's leave the body. Because if there's not enough time, we'll move a bit ahead. Huh?
מחילה, אורן שואל, מה קורה עם סרטן? אז אני רוצה להסביר לו שסרטן זה טעים, זה לא חיידק, אנחנו מדברים על חיידק.
Okay, that will do a private show. You'll do it Oren later. The position of the sun. Did we ask ourselves that the position of the sun from Earth, the distance? Do you know what's the distance? The sun from Earth? Do you have any idea? I'll tell you, 150 million kilometers. The distance, the sun from Earth, 150 million kilometers. Do you understand that, Rabotai? I don't understand because I've never been such a distance. You know, when I fly from here to Israel, that it's equivalent to 9,000 kilometers, 10,000 kilometers.
That's about it.
I hate that. I hate flying. I'm not good with flying. And by the way, we have a special visitor that's going on Motzei Shabbos, Ariel. Ariel, welcome from the yeshiva. He comes from Or Sameach. You actually make your father proud. I'm sure that you make all your family proud. When we see a young boy going to yeshiva, where do you find it? Especially in those days. Shirkoah. And I'm sure that you enjoy Eretz Israel, enjoy your lovely studying, and keep that. It's a source of nachas to you and to all your family, especially to your grandfather that was a rabbi. I'm sure that you've given him a lot of nachas. Shirkoah. So you're going to fly 9,000 kilometers, huh? 9 hours, huh? 150 million kilometers. Can you work it out? How many hours is that? Do you understand? That's not 9,000 kilometers. 150 million kilometers. Earth to the sun. Why? Did you ask yourself? Why does it have to be such a big distance? Very pashut. Power. Okay. What difference is it was closer? If it was big. Pashut. So if it's 150, it will burn. If it's less than 150. Okay? I understand. But if you make it further, cold. You're all right. That if HaKadosh Baruch Hu will put the sun less than 150 million kilometers from us,
Burn up.
the earth going to burn after a few minutes. If not few seconds. Depends what the distance. If it's too far, the world would freeze. One block of ice. Isn't that amazing? Look at what HaKadosh Baruch Hu created. Everything to the point. Everything on the right place. Everything that earth needs, she gets. Winter and summer. Why do we need winter? Why do we need summer? Did you ask yourself that question? Why not all the time going to be warm? Most of the people prefer the warm. Nachon, except maybe our friend Norman. He doesn't like the heat. He tells me he hates the heat. He prefers the cold. Am I right? But look at it in general. Most of the people prefer summer. You agree with me, Simon? Or you prefer the cold weather? I'm sure that you don't like it. You like me, huh? You prefer the hot weather. Did you ask yourself why?
How do you explain Iceland? It's got more hours of light.
But depends when. Depends when. You have to look at it as summer and winter. The Zohar already spoke about it 2,000 years ago. The Zohar said 2,000 years ago, before Columbus came, that the world is round. The Columbus explained why in certain places it's day, why in certain places it's night. You know why? Did you ask yourself, why in South Africa now it's night, that we're in the southern hemisphere? If you go to the northern hemisphere, it's day. Why? Why it doesn't have to be... Don't tell me that's Kava Mashve. Give me Kava Mashve. What's different? What is that? Kava Mashve, it's the equator. But that doesn't answer. What do you answer? It's very simple. You know why? The Zohar said, no. HaKadosh Baruch Hu couldn't make day here and day there. You know what the Zohar said? That will be not one moment in the world that no studying Torah. What does it mean? If all the world will be dark, that means night, everyone will sleep. So it will be certain time that no one study Torah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said that the world can never exist without 1 minute of Torah. So when it's dark here, we're sleeping. There they study Torah.
But
You understand?
It's like also when in space and they go around, it's Milka Mairav Shachri.
All the time. Huh?
They put on to fit in 24 times a day.
So you understand?
Off the subject, like,
24 times
just
a
to
day.
get on to say Yom Kippur, for example.
Yeah.
How come we have like 24 hours here? And there, it's obviously going to be longer than 24.
Depends if it's summer or winter. Depends where you are. Depends where you are. Now,
Rabbi, I'm Iceland.
well, one second. Let's finish step. I'll come to day and night. I'll come.
Not there.
No, I'll explain. I know that here it's longer, here it's shorter. They have certain time that the day is long, the day is long.
It's all ice.
No.
The sun is shining there more than 18 hours.
The summer.
Only in summer, no. Gershon, you're mistaken here. The sun, that most of the day, it's only in summer. But in winter, most of the time is darkness. You hardly see the sun. That's what you have to understand. It's not all year around that you see the sun there. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let me answer you.
But it is going.
Hazal say
The sun stays.
something very interesting, and we spoke about it.
The sun stays.
That there is certain places that, for example, let me put it this way. In Eretz Israel, when Yom HaKippurim is Yom HaKippurim, that's the right day. But in America, it's not. Shabbat in Israel, when Shabbat is in Israel already, there is certain place in the world Shabbat didn't even enter yet. When Shabbat finish in certain places, okay, in Israel is already Yom Hol.
Or even some like Australia.
Do you understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Australia-
So how does it work? Sorry?
No.
Do you understand
Right,
the
yeah,
question?
yeah.
Just listen, because that will help you to understand Greenland. Because Hazal say that how do we decide when is Shabbat? Why we don't decide like United States, Australia, like you mentioned, or any other places in the world? Eretz Israel, it's the Holy Land. Yerushalayim, that's the center. Everything going according to Eretz Israel and Yerushalayim. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now there is Shabbatot Dehul. There is Shabbos that you do overseas. And we see the difference also here. Although it's the same day in South Africa, but in winter and summer we see that it changed. But we going according to who? To Eretz Israel. So in winter and summer, now I'm answering you, Gershon. In winter and summer, the time change. You agree with me? When you, as much that you go to the northern hemisphere, in winter, the sun stays most of the day. It's light. But when you go there on winter, most of the day, dark. You hardly see the sun. If you see it for an hour, you're lucky. Depends also on which part of the winter. You follow what I'm saying?
But Rabbi, when we pray to the east, to
You-
the north.
If you're in the south, no. If you're in the south, in South Africa, where you pray towards Eretz Israel. So where's Eretz Israel towards South Africa? It's in the north.
In the north.
But depends which part of the
Yeah.
world you are. Wait. But when you pray towards the north, you pray towards Eretz Israel. In Eretz Israel, where do you pray? Huh? Jerusalem. Where's Jerusalem? East. Do you understand? So if you're in the south in Eretz Israel,
Northeast.
let me give you an example. You all look confused. A person live in Elat. That's the south of Eretz Israel. נכון?
He looks north.
Then he's praying to the east.
So where do you pray? Where's Jerusalem towards him? Northeast.
Northeast.
נכון? You agree with me?
Northeast.
Menachem, you agree with me? So when we here in South Africa, where do we pray? North. North to where? Where's the north of South Africa? If you look, if you start flying, you're moving, you're getting to Eretz Israel. Now I'll ask you a different question. A person is in a desert. He doesn't know where it's north, he doesn't know star sign, doesn't know nothing. What does he have to have in mind? He doesn't know where is north, where is east, doesn't know nothing. He doesn't know where is Eretz Israel.
You look at the sun and you see which way the sun is rising or setting.
Okay, but I agree with you. I agree with you. If he sit all day, but he's arrived there in the desert at night, he need to daven Maariv. He doesn't know where is north, where is south. He have to have, if he doesn't know, he have to have his mind and his heart to Eretz Israel, to Yerushalayim. You follow? That's the same thing here. When we daven towards the north, but we have to have our mind. Where? To Yerushalayim. Where is Yerushalayim? In Kotel HaMa'aravi.
But now someone in Australia,
It's completely different.
yeah, so they have to pray
Towards Eretz Israel.
west, I think.
Northwest.
Northwest.
Nachon? Northwest.
It only takes 5 seconds to find out where you are.
Yeah.
You take a stick and you put it in the ground and you watch
The sun.
The sun. And you'll know where north and east and west.
Russia, they play itself. Russia.
Your prayer,
Sorry?
you get answered.
I can't hear.
People say, lots of people say, and it's a known fact, that most prayers are answered quicker in Israel than anywhere else in the world.
So,
Because in
no, I don't
Israel,
understand
it
the
goes
question.
up, and from anywhere else in the world goes first to Israel and then up.
Because it's local, it's local.
You've got a bad space.
I wanna, it's very simple. For sure, it's pashut. Tell me. Let me give you an analogy. You have a cell phone. You agree with me? You subscribe, let's say, with one of the station here. When you go down, did you been on a free state sometime? There's a certain area that you don't get sometime, a reception.
Not sometimes, most times.
So where do you get the best reception? When you're closer to the station.
Yes.
Eretz Israel. You know what's the second name of the Kotel HaMa'aravi? Talpiot. Why Talpiot? Telpiot. Tel. You know, like in English, tel? Telpiot. Not tal. Not tet lamed.
What does that mean?
Why? Because kol tfilot is a prayer. Where are they going up?
From Israel.
From the Kotel HaMa'aravi straight up. Where is Har HaMoriah? Har HaMoriah, you know where's Har HaMoriah? You know where the Muslim build? Okay? It's on top of it.
Just translate.
Do you understand?
Tell Maria, translate.
Har HaMoriah. Har HaMoriah, where's Har HaMoriah? Har HaMoriah is the mountain of Moriah. Where is it? Where is today on top of... I don't want to mention that name. It's not a temple. Okay, you named it. I agree with you. But what I'm saying, where is it? It's there. What does it mean, Moriah, Har Moriah? You remember who slept there? Yaakov Avinu. Who is supposed to be sacrificed there before him? אל המקום אשר אראך, הקדוש ברוך הוא said to Avraham Avinu. That where Yitzhak Avinu was supposed to be sacrificed. That way is the Holy of Holiness. You understand? So now, if you're praying there, you have a direct connection. You understand? Okay, let's move on. We spoke about
So it is
the
true,
position and the distance between the sun and earth. Huh?
it is true that your prayers are answered.
Pashut. Let's move on. Earth. We all know today that earth is round. There is no question about it. Although in olden days, remember we spoke about it once before, many people were thinking that earth is flat. And when it's finished, if you look at the old encyclopedia, I'm sure that most of you saw that there is some say that they were standing on 4 elephants. Or some people say that it's ending, an end of earth you can fall, and today they found out that it's all Bubamaisis, all of those theories. Today everyone know that even if you look out of space, you can see that Kadur Haaretz is round. Did you ask yourself why Dafka round?
The earth is not round.
Spherical.
It's spherical. It's wide at the equator then.
But why, if you look in general, Kadur Haaretz,
it's
it's
a
not
sphere,
square.
it's a sphere,
You know what?
but-
Let me make it easier for you. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't created Earth as a square? Did you ask yourself, Gedalia? Why does it have to be round and not square? Did you ask yourself? It's very simple. We know that the sun sends a ray. If Earth was square, those rays will hit one place, Earth will get bent. Pashut, nachon. When it's round, reflect them up. Come down the ray, go back. You agree with me? We have a scientist. Pashut. To us, it all sounds today very simple, very easy. But to create such a thing, it's not so simple.
But isn't it also that the world is turning, so the sun is...
Okay, here there is a dispute. Is Earth turning or the sun is turning?
Earth.
There's a mahloket. Today most of them agree that Earth is actually turning. Nachon? Okay. Now, before I move,
If it
I want...
wouldn't rotate, you wouldn't have gravity.
That's it. Okay. You understand? Now I'm going to ask you, how many of you heard about, there is a miracle that's called the nature of water. That's the name of that miracle. The miracle, the nature of water. How many of you heard about it? Not many. Okay, so let me start from the beginning. I was thinking that most of you know, but I'll start from the beginning. You know, in cold, things tend to shrink. You agree with me? In heat, they expand. Also with water, nachon? Until certain amount of degrees. Between 0 to 4 degrees, that law doesn't work. Did you know that? You didn't know that. Okay. Between 0 degrees to 4 degrees, the water doesn't expand and doesn't shrink. It continues to expand. It should be the opposite. It should shrink because it's getting colder. Nachon? And water not. Now if you take a bottle and you put a full bottle of water in a freeze, you see that sometimes happens that bottle gets cracked. Why? Because it's continued to expand. But it's against nature. Did you ask yourself why? It's still expanding. You understand my question? If I take cold thing, anything cold, and I put it in water, it should shrink. It shouldn't expand. So that bottle of water that I put in a freeze shouldn't crack. Shouldn't explode. Nachon? You agree with me, Meish? Okay. So
Especially
there
if
is...
you put it in the freezer.
Sorry?
Especially if you put it in the freezer.
It gets frozen. So why the water in certain degrees continue to expand? Did you ask yourself? Also, scientists doesn't know how to explain it. They can explain to you what's happening, but they can't explain why. And how's it done? It's very simple. For us, now it's very simple, because if we read the Torah, we read the Mefarshim, they explain to us. Before I continue, I just want to tell you, the other day we was walking, me and Meish, and Meish loved the Code Bible. Moshe, the Bible Code, sorry.
The what?
Meish loved the Bible Code. You know the Bible Code?
Yeah.
You don't know about the Bible Code?
What's the Bible?
So maybe we should do a show about the Bible Code. Okay, the Bible Code.
Most interesting,
I tell you, it's most interesting.
Fascinating.
It's actually not only,
Well,
but it's frightening. It's amazing. Everything that happened in the world,
It's written.
you can find it. Why? We today can't find what's going to happen in the future. But everything that happened, if you put it,
It's recorded.
and depends how you put the sequence, you can find what's happened in the world. Nachon, Meish? Meish follow it. Meish doesn't leave me with that. Whenever we walk, whenever we have chance, we speak about it.
But the Baal Turim is full of the...
Sorry?
Baal Turim is also... Baal Turim is
Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, yes?
Yes, he's full of the Baal Turim, the comments on the Chumash. Full
Ah,
of-
the commentary. Yeah. Remember how he wrote the commentary? Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, he wrote the Tur. What is the Tur?
The law.
The law. Nachon, the halachot. That's where we start. His father said to him, for how long you're going to speak about a Torah shebe'al peh? What about Torah shebechtav? You know what he done? That night, Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim gone. All night he sit and he wrote a commentary on Hamisha Humshe Torah.
The whole night.
All the written Torah. Rabotai, do you understand what a mind you have to have? Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, do we understand? His father is the Rosh.
And
Rabbeinu
the
Asher.
calculations and all.
The gematria that he give you there, it's beyond.
Unbelievable.
You understand? So anyway, let's go back to the nature, this miracle nature that happened with the water. So when we put that bottle in a freeze, it should shrink. It doesn't. It's carry on expanding. Nachon? Why is that? Let's for us understand. If we go to the northern hemisphere, we have the northern sea, we have the lake, we have the river, and we know that they all freeze on the top. Underneath, it's still alive. Nachon? Imagine that will happen, that the law will change, that now everything going to get shrink, everything going to turn to ice. What's going to happen to the sea life? Sea life. That means what's happening to this, everything that live inside the sea? What freeze? Die. Because if everything going to shrink, just listen to me, Gershon. It's going to become a ball of ice. The ball of ice going to go to the ground. Now all the sea going to turn to one ball of ice. Who can live underneath? Who can swim? It's all ice. We're not going to have the sea life. All the sea life going to be finished. No fish. How are you going to eat salmon? No salmon. You love salmon, huh?
No gefilte fish.
You're not going to have the filter fish. Now you're in problem, huh?
Rabbi,
So HaKadosh Baruch Hu,
we're running late.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu created that law, that it can still expand, that the life can be. But let's forget about the sea life. What's going to happen in summer when those ice going to start melting? The entire world going to be flooded. You understand what I'm saying? So when HaKadosh Baruch Hu created that miracle, those wonders, do we understand that? This is just part one of the wonders of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Be'ezrat Hashem, next week, we're going to explain the second part of the She'ur, and we try to understand about the wonders of the Creator.